Hello, everybody.
Fire Flower here, I'm Cameron.
And I'm Jerry. We're doing something a little bit different. We are going to predict our winners for all the video game awards for this year.
Yeah.
And we're going to try and we're going to have a little competition out of it. Whoever can pick the most categories correct wins. But the loser has to play a game that they hate. For you, it's going to be Beowulf.
Uh-huh.
And for me, it's probably going to be Mr. Nuts, because I can't think of a game I hate more than that one.
How long do we have to play each of those games?
I was thinking maybe one full-length episode or two. I mean by full-length, like a half-hour episode, not like a 20-minute episode. I mean a full-length episode.
That's long enough for me to get stage 4 cancer playing it. I'll die and I won't remember it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to start with an award that we're probably not going to be able to guess at all. Best Chinese Game.
Oh, you don't see it? It's so easy. It's obviously gonna be fucking Gumballs.
Well, hold on. I gotta read off the nominations first. There's Monument Valley 2, JX3 HD, Gumballs, Icy, and King of Glory. What's your prediction?
Gumballs, of course.
Gumballs? I unfortunately have to agree with you because it's the only one that looks entertaining out of this whole thing.
Yeah, one's an isometric, whatever the fuck it is. The other one looks like it's gonna be an Assassin's Creed rip-off. The one below, one seems to be a side-scrolling brawler. And King of Glory is just straight up a rip-off of fucking League of Legends.
The thing with Icy, the one that looks like a side-scroller, the picture is so pixely you can barely make out what it is.
Yeah.
That doesn't speak well for the game. Whereas Gumballs, it looks like it could be a Candy Crush clone. Or some kind of like weird RPG.
We don't even know what the fuck it is.
No, we don't. Next, we're going to move on to the best debuted indie game. Best debut indie. I spelled debut wrong. I spelled India. We are keeping track of our picks, by the way.
Yeah.
So we remember them later on. So the nominees are Slime Rancher, Mr. Shifty, Mr. Shifty, Hollow Knight, Golf Story, and Cuphead. I have to give this to Cuphead.
Yeah. I've seen...
Although, I can see Hollow Knight or Slime Rancher winning. The other two I've never heard of.
Hollow Knight, I've looked at it a couple times. I don't know what to make of it, honestly. It's one of those kinds of games.
Yeah. But I've heard it's got a pretty big following from my understanding.
Yeah, true.
But Cuphead is the only one that was featured at E3.
Yeah. Just because it was
So
featured in E3. I played the thing. So I thought it was the best at all these.
Well, the only reason I'm saying, like, oh, it's featured at E3, so it's going to be on the minds of a lot of more casual gamers.
Maybe.
Than some of these. But although I could see Slime Rancher winning because it is a game that was played by, like, every YouTuber ever when it was released.
Yeah.
So, it's a hard call, but I'm saying Cuphead. You agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. So the next category is Best Esports Team. And I have no idea about any esports stuff.
Yeah.
The nominations are
of course
Team
it's
Liquid.
going to be FaZe.
You're not letting me read
I
the
don't
nominees.
have to. It's FaZe.
Team Liquid,
The meme
SK
team.
Telecom 1, Lunatic High, FaZe Clan, and Cloud9. To be different, I'm going to say Team Liquid.
You racist.
They're the only two teams that I've heard of is Team Liquid and FaZe Clan.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Team Liquid, just to be different from you.
Gay.
Best esports player is the next category. Kiroki.
I know
Saoma
0% of these
Takamashi,
people.
Jehong Ryu, Nikola Niko Kovac, Marcelo
I'm going with
Kodzera
Faker
David,
because he sounds familiar.
and Lee Sang Hyugo Faker. I'm gonna go with Coldzera, just because he's the only American.
Well, that's reason.
Well, I mean, yeah. I'm thinking outside of the box. I'm not gonna go with a Korean just because Koreans are supposed to be good at game.
Is Faker Korean?
Racist. I don't know, probably. Plays League of Legends.
There are a lot of League of Legends teams.
I mean,
Can you hurry up
only
typing?
Koreans play it.
Jeez Louise.
Best esports game:
Oh,
Rocket
God.
League, League of Legends, Dota 2, Counter-Strike Go, or Overwatch. This one seems a little bit hard to me.
I think Overwatch. And the reason I say Overwatch is because, as someone who's played Overwatch and someone I've played all of these at least once. I think Overwatch has the most depth to it. I think even though it is a Team Fortress 2 ripoff, I think it has the most depth. It's the most changeable.
So, again, I'm thinking in terms of most casual player.
You're right.
'Cause
I would think, even still, if you're thinking most casual player, it would be a toss-up between Overwatch and Rocket League. Because Overwatch
I would actually
was...
say Counter-Strike or Rocket League.
The problem with Counter-Strike is I don't think a lot of casual people play it. Because it's such a fucking, like, once you get into, like, even just playing with my friends, there are some pretty hard motherfuckers on lower ranks and stuff. It's not really a game I would say is for casuals. The only way you can get good at Counter-Strike is by dumping thousands of hours into it.
Which a lot of casuals, when they pick up a game, they just play that game and nothing else.
I doubt casuals would pick Counter-Strike.
I'm honestly leaning more towards Rocket League, just because it does not have a huge learning curve. Anybody can play it and understand what you have to do. They may not be good at it, but you can get the job done in the game.
Right.
You know,
You can do the same thing in Overwatch for the most part as well.
I'm saying Rocket League. Are you sticking to Overwatch?
Yes.
So, we're different here. Oh, this is another category.
Of course, it's got to be Dr. Disrespect.
This category is Trending Gamer. Steven Spawn, Mike Grzeski, Guy Beam, Clinton Lexia, and Andrea Rennie. I don't know who any of these are. I'm gonna say Steven Spahone because he's part of Able
Where the
Gamers, which is a very
Oh. Dr. Disrespect. I think they spelled
This
that
guy?
wrong, yeah.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a Twitch streamer. Played H1Z1 for a long time and then started doing PUBG. The only reason I know who he is because my fucking friend Gary sucks his dick so hard 100% of the time.
Oh, okay. Only reason I'm going with Steven is he's part of Able Gamers, which that's a very good charity.
Yeah.
I do support that a lot, so
Mm.
only I've never heard of any of these other people. I've never heard of him either, but I've heard of Able Gamers. That's the only reason I'm going with him. And next up is Best Student Game, which is another game on this list that people can't vote for. And I don't know if these games are actually available for people to play, except for students. 'Cause I've never heard of these.
Fuck this category.
Well, we have to do it. It's part of the Game Awards. Meaning, Level Squared, Impulsion, Falling Sky, Hollowed, and From Light.
I'm just gonna go for Impulsion.
I'm gonna go for Falling Sky.
The Impulsion just sounds a little bit, cool.
I just like the fact that it looks like apocalyptic.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't. It just looks like they're standing in a desert. So who knows? Next up is Best Indie Game. Didn't we already do that? No, that was Best Debuting Indie Game. I don't know what the difference is. But there's Pyre, Night in the Woods, Cuphead, What Remains of Edith Finch, and Hellblade's Senua's Sacrifice.
I almost bought Hellblade, But
Yeah.
the problem with it is like I don't know what the fuck it is. Like it's still on my wish list on Steam because I want to play it. But I don't know what it's supposed to be. If it's supposed to be like a walking simulator or a hack and slash or whatever. It's not very
simulator.
Yeah, like games that like, all you do is walk and find clues and whatnot. Those are called walking simulators.
Oh. So, unfortunately, I think I have to go with Cuphead again. Here.
Yeah.
Okay, and on to the next category. Is most anticipated game, which means these games are coming out after December 7th. The Last of Us Part 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, Monster Hunter World, Marvel's Spider-Man, or God of War.
Honestly, it's a toss-up between Last of Us, Red Dead, and God of War. I haven't heard people talking anything about Monster Hunter or Spider-Man since E3.
I've heard a lot of people talking
fucking
about Spider-Man.
screaming about those 3 games.
A lot of people are saying that this Spider-Man is going to be like the sequel to like the good Spider-Man game that was released that one time years and years ago.
Which one was that?
I can't remember what it was, but it was like a PlayStation 2 one, and it was a very, very good Spider-Man game. And all the other ones since have been just garbage. And people are thinking this is going to be just as good as that one was.
Yeah.
I personally,
Huh?
I would vote for The Last of Us Part 2. That would be my personal vote.
See, I'm thinking
But
about that as well. But
I
think...
No, I'm not saying like I'm picking that for the category. I'm saying that's what I would vote for. What would you vote for? Like your personal vote?
Probably. I have no idea, honestly. If I was saying, like, personally what I would want to win as instead of a prediction, I would probably end up voting for either God of War or Red Dead Redemption 2. Because I think there's a severe lack of Western shooters nowadays, and it breaks my heart. There aren't any more Call of Juarez, and I would love to see Red Dead thrive.
I'm actually going to pick Red Dead Redemption 2 as mine. Is what I think is going to win. Because honestly,
Yeah.
I've heard more people talk about that than I have heard of God of War. I've heard more people complain about the look of God of War than I've heard people looking forward to it.
I think I'm going to do The Last of Us. Because people
Yeah.
don't shut the fuck up about the first game.
Yeah, I just don't see that being more anticipated than the other games. I personally would vote for it, but I don't think other people will.
I think they will.
The next category is Best Multiplayer Game. The nominees are Fortnite, Call of Duty World War II, Splatoon 2, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Destiny 2, and Players Unknown Battlegrounds.
It's of course going to be PUBG. There's no way it's not going to be PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Because of
I don't know.
its popularity soared from January to being unknown to October being one of the fastest selling early access games ever. It's going to be that. I guarantee it.
I'm going to say Mario Kart 8.
You're going to let your biases get in the way.
No, because if it was my bias, I would say Splatoon 2.
I think there's no way it's not going to be PlayerUnknown's
My
Battlegrounds.
thinking is Mario Kart in general is always a series that everybody hails as being like the best multiplayer games there is.
Right, but now there's a new player in the court, and that's PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, which people never shut up about. It's still super expensive and never goes on sale because it still sells like fucking hotcakes. It's gonna be PlayerUnknown's. I know it in my heart.
Next category is Best Sports/Racing Game, which apparently they combine sports and racing games into one thing now. I remember they used to be separate.
I know, because you used to have good games that pulled them apart, like Need for Speed, Most Wanted, and shit like that. They weren't like sports games. Now they're like rallies and stuff like that.
Yeah. The nominees are Project Cars 2, Pro Evolution Soccer 2018, NBA 2K18, GT Sport, Forza Motorsport 7, and FIFA 18.
I'm gonna say Project Cars 2. The reason I say
I'm
that
not
is because
sure.
the first one was so popular.
I'm gonna say NBA 2K, just because I have no idea about any of these games at all. And FIFA, I think's taken a dramatic downturn as far as popularity since like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I remember FIFA was like everything a couple years ago. Everybody was like, "Oh, FIFA is like the next God of War." I don't know. Obviously, they didn't say that. Next is the best strategy game. The nominees are XCOM 2, Tooth and Tail, Total War Warhammer 2, Halo Wars 2, and Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Honestly, I just started playing strategy games like a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't touched these yet.
The only ones I've played are XCOM 2.
Yeah.
Although I guess this is like an expansion pack to it, because War of the Chosen.
Yeah.
And Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
I think I'm gonna go with Mario and Rabbids.
I'd have to agree, just because it's the only one that I think's made like
Honestly,
mainstream attention.
Total War Warhammer 2, I think could do it because Warhammer is an insanely popular franchise.
Is it?
Yes,
Total War isn't it?
Yeah, it's like two of the fucking best strategy games slapped together. See, because like Warhammer has the depth of its lore to its credibility, and Total War has the gameplay mechanics. Because Warhammer's lore is fucking stupidly in depth. It's retarded.
I have to say though, the artwork for Tooth and Tail looks. I really like the art design of that. From what I can tell in the little thumbnail
American
picture they show.
Tail, but super bloody.
Actually, it looks like the Great Mouse Detective, but super bloody.
How dare you?
Which is better.
An American Tail is better than that retard Detective Mouse piece of shit.
The next category, I am almost confident a Nintendo game is going to win this category.
Yeah.
Best Family Game, Splatoon 2,
Super Mario
Sonic
Odyssey.
Mania, Mario Rabbids Battle Kingdom, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Mario Odyssey. I have to give it to Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Because the game is amazing. Mario Odyssey. Although Sonic Mania is surprisingly good.
I heard people really, really loved it. The only problem was the de novo DRM bullshit they put on it.
I've never heard of that.
Well, it's a Steam thing, not a problem you would have on consoles.
Oh, okay. But I've heard a lot of very popular things about Sonic Mania. And this is completely unrelated to these 5 games, sort of. But Sonic Forces.
Yeah.
This has reminded me of it. Just recently released a free t-shirt in their game for your custom character.
Uh-huh.
With Sonic on it.
Sonic?
Yes. Sonic is a wearable t-shirt.
I love Sega.
Sonic Forces.
You can say whatever you want about their game franchises or the directions they take most of their game franchises, but god fucking damn it if they don't have the best sense of humor in the industry.
They really do. Their games are awful a lot of the time, but man.
The only series I think hasn't floundered yet is Yakuza. They did release one bad
Total
game.
War?
Total War? Total War has definitely had bad games in the franchise.
Has it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah,
The next
is the
category.
only one who's been consistently good, other than like Yakuza Dead Souls, but that was a fucking spin-off on a main series game.
The next category is Best Fighting Game. Tekken 7, Nidhogg 2, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Injustice 2, and ARMS.
I'm gonna go with Tekken 7.
Yeah, is that a good game?
Tekken 7? Yeah, supposedly. It's another one of those fucking games that was released a few months ago, and when it goes on sale, actually, I think it was released earlier in the year, and like every time it goes on sale, it's only for like a couple bucks, not even off.
Injustice 2, I didn't hear good things about. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, I didn't hear good things about. Nidhogg 2, I've never heard much of anything about. I know what Nidhogg is, I didn't know they even made a sequel though. That's how
Yeah.
little I've heard about it.
Yeah.
ARMS and Tekken 7, I think, are the two front runners. And the only reason I'm saying ARMS, I don't think you'll agree. They're consistently pushing out a ton of free updates. There's new characters added a lot. There's new stages. They're all free.
Uh-huh.
And I think that keeps the life of the game going. They did that with Splatoon too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to say ARMS just for that.
Okay.
Although it's probably gonna be Tekken 7, I'm gonna say ARMS anyway.
Yeah.
Next up is Best RPG. The nominees are South Park: The Fractured Butthole, Final Fantasy 15, Divinity: Original Sin 2, Nier Automata, Automata, and Persona 5.
It's going to be Nier.
I think it's going to be Persona 5.
I don't. And the reason I say that is because Nier Automata never stops getting blown.
Never starts getting what?
Blown. Everyone fucking
Oh.
sucks that game's dick all the time. And in my opinion, I've played Persona 5.
Mhm.
I think it's a pretty good game.
Mhm.
The problem is it's riddled to the fucking extreme with tutorials. Like I'm 2 hours into the game and I'm still getting fucking tutorials. So that's the only reason even though I've played Persona 5, I wouldn't give it the best RPG, because any RPG that has to hold your hand that much, really, to me, isn't much of an RPG.
I do think Final Fantasy 15 could win,
Maybe.
just because I remember it being like really big when it first came out.
Yeah,
But it came out last year, didn't it?
I think.
It must have come out after the Game Awards last year, and that's why it's still possible to be nominated for stuff.
Maybe. I would say Divinity Original Sin 2, because as far as I know, the Divinity Original Sin games are supposedly another one of those that get blown pretty hard. And
Now, South Park, if it was the Stick of Truth,
That
I would
would've
say
won.
it. But I've heard that this one's not as good.
My-
It's good,
my-
but not nearly as good.
my friend said they completely fucked up quests and whatnot. Like
Did they?
in the Stick of Truth, there was like really original quests, but in Fractured
Yeah.
Butthole, there's a lot of fetch quests and not much originality to them.
See, I kind of like that.
I don't.
Not that I like
I
fetch quests,
prefer
but
originality.
my whole opinion on the South Park Stick of Truth game, and this, even though I haven't played it, is they're very much making fun of RPGs while still trying to be good. And I think tossing a ton of fetch quests in there is making fun of a lot of current RPGs that do that.
Right, but that's irrelevant if it's not fun. You could try that.
I
and-
haven't played it myself, so I can't say if it is or isn't, but I'm not even a South Park fan, and I really liked Stick of Truth. I thought it was an amazing game. And I don't even like South Park.
Yeah.
Like, that's how good the game was. Like, I was able to really get into it, and I liked it. And yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying Persona 5 still.
I don't think you're gonna win that.
Next up is Best Action Adventure Game. The nominees are Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, Assassin's Creed Origins, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and Horizon Zero Dawn.
I'm going with Zelda.
I'm gonna agree, because honestly, I like Mario more.
The problem,
Mario doesn't feel like an action adventure game. It
because
feels like a platformer.
it's not an action adventure game. It is a platformer. That's what Mario. That's what Mario popularized, and that's what he's always been for the
Yeah,
most
but
part. Honestly,
I do understand though. It is an adventure game though. Like, you're
Oh,
exploring.
absolutely. But
worlds
it's
and
an
stuff, but-
action adventure. And I would say no, it's more of a platforming adventure game than it is an action adventure.
But that's the thing is, do you think platforming is a type of action? Because it is.
Not necessarily, because like with an action adventure game, there would be platforming and whatnot, but
there-
it's not the central point of an action adventure game.
Because their description of what this category is for the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving, which they very much do in Mario Odyssey. You do have to fight things, you do have to solve puzzles and traverse stuff.
Right.
I do think it falls into the category, but I don't think it's the best in the category. I think it's weak in terms of action adventure.
I don't think.
But I can see it being called.
I think it's a mixed categorization by the fucking people. I don't think they know what they're talking about. I see where you're coming from, but it's a platformer. Because platformers doesn't necessarily mean that it can't have action. It just means that the central focus is jumping from platform to platform.
What I'm saying is it's an action adventure platformer. And I think the platformer part of it makes it less of fun as an action adventure game and more fun as a platformer.
Right.
But I think it's an action adventure platformer, if that makes sense.
I don't know.
But honestly, I do think Breath of the Wild has this one.
Yeah, but
Assassin's Creed Origins just came out.
Yeah.
Uncharted, The Lost. I didn't hear good things about that Uncharted game. And Horizon Zero Dawn kind of.
I heard
from everything I heard, kind of fell under the radar compared to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
because they came out around the same time.
Right. They were, as far as I remember, they were very similar games. But when Horizon Zero Dawn came out, I could not get away from people once again sucking that game's dick.
But at the same time, it came out at the same time as Breath of the Wild, and I heard more people doing that to that than that.
Right. I'm aware, but I'm just saying, like, that's what I've been around, is like when that game came out.
And
I don't
will
think
say
it's irrelevant anymore, but
I really do like Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
But I do think it is massively overrated as well.
Yep.
There's definitely some major flaws in the game. I love it to pieces. It's probably my third favorite Zelda game. But looking at it, it's still not great. There's still imperfections they need to fix in it.
Yeah.
If they do like the same style for the next Zelda game, which I hope they do, because honestly, I think they could make it even better if they continue working with this formula.
Yeah.
But there was so much in it at the same time that kind of made up for what it lacked.
Yeah.
But I don't think it deserved like perfect across the board scores. Mario Odyssey, I think did. I found nothing wrong with that game. I still haven't found anything wrong with that game. I love it that much. And I love Zelda more than Mario, and I'm still saying Mario's a better game. Next category is Best Action Game. The nominees are Prey. I don't know how to pronounce this one.
Neo,
Destiny 2, Cuphead, and Wolfenstein 2.
It's
going
gonna
to
be Wolfenstein.
You think?
The reason I say that is because, like, Wolfenstein 2 was nothing but an improvement over the New Order, in my opinion. Story-wise, character development, gunplay, everything. Everything was better than the previous game. And I just beat it the second time last night.
Mm-hmm.
And it still has replay value in it to me, because there's so many ways you can go around playing each level. Like, there's 3 different upgrades you can get, like the ramshackles. There's one called the, I think, compressor, which basically makes it so you can get into really, really small spaces, the battle walker. You can stealth through the levels, you can just run around killing people. You got the Enigma codes that you can crack. It's probably the best one, definitely, out of all those, in my opinion. Prey got boring because I realized that, like, how long did I play? I can pull it up. It's my Steam's right here. Prey got boring around the 10-hour mark. At the 10-hour mark, I slowly started to realize that I'm just playing watered-down BioShock and watered-down Deus Ex, so I just played those over that. It really fell down as it went along. Destiny 2, it's fucking Destiny. It's one of those games that requires you to spend money to actually fully enjoy it. Cuphead, while good, I think it's a little bit too, I would say, hardcore for most casual people. And Neo is definitely one of those games that either you fucking like it, because it's so Dark Souls. It's a fucking hard bitch.
It's the only one of the 5 I've never heard of.
Yeah, it was. I followed it for a while because I really like it, and I like Team Ninja. Like, they made the Ninja Gaiden games and stuff. So,
are they ninja?
Yes, they are all ninjas, obviously.
Are we ninja too?
Yes.
I'm honestly, I'm gonna have to agree here just because you made a good point. Because honestly, this is a category I never played any of these games. Cuphead doesn't seem like it would be a winner to me.
It
for
lacks
this.
the depth of all the other games.
I have heard nothing but I heard really good things about Prey at first until the game was out for about a month.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened to me. I really started to enjoy it, but the more I played it, I realized it was just BioShock. And then I
But,
started to play BioShock again and fucking left that in the dust.
So I don't want to keep agreeing on categories, but you kind of convinced me on that one.
Yeah.
The next category is best VR/AR game. Super Hot VR, Star Trek Bridge Crew, Lone Echo Echo Arena, Farpoint, and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
I'm going to say RE7.
Dang it.
The reason I say RE7 is because I've seen people play that game and shit their britches.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to agree. I was going to say it too. Now it just seems like I'm saying it because you said it. I'm going to give mine first in the next... We'll go back and forth from here on out so it doesn't seem like we're just copying what the other person said.
Okay.
The next category. This is one I see Nintendo winning. Just going to toss it out there.
I don't
Best
think they have
handheld game.
anything. I don't think there's any other fucking company right now with a handheld out.
Best handheld game. Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World, Monster Hunter Stories, Metroid Samus Returns, Ever Oasis, and Fire Emblem Echoes Shadow of Valencia. Or Valentina. I thought it was Valencia.
It's the best game award. The game awards. They're gonna fuck it up because they're retards.
Honestly, I'm giving it to Metroid.
I'm gonna give mine to Fire Emblem actually.
See, before you do, let me tell you something about this Fire Emblem game. This one is not a normal Fire Emblem game. It's a remake of an older game that doesn't use the strategy gameplay.
Well then I'll have to agree with Metroid.
I just to let you know that they don't use. It's not a typical Fire Emblem game. I have heard good things about it, but I've heard more about Metroid.
Right.
So that's why I'm giving it to Metroid. Next is Best Mobile Game. Fire Emblem Heroes, Super Mario Run, Old Man's Journey, Monument Valley 2. Hey, that's one of the Chinese games, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Hidden Folks.
I have no idea because I don't play mobile games. I think mobile games are for casuals.
So what game are you giving it to? Because
Unfortunately, Super Mario Run because it's the only one I know about.
I'm giving it to Fire Emblem Heroes.
I have no choice. I've never heard of Fire Emblem Heroes.
I've told you about Fire Emblem Heroes.
I thought that
It's
was
basically a
supposed to be a fucking Nintendo, like a 3DS game.
No. Fire Emblem Heroes, it's basically a Fire Emblem game that has microtransactions.
Oh, that's...
If you want to, it's a mobile game that makes it so you don't have to do the microtransactions unless you want to speed up your progress.
So every
type of mobile game.
so every fucking mobile game.
Yes, but Super Mario Run did it differently, whereas you could play the first world for free and then pay $10 to unlock the rest, but you always had the rest.
Oh yeah, I remember that actually.
Yeah,
But I don't
that
really
was
have a fucking choice because I'm not picking the same one as you twice. And I don't know what the
next
other ones are.
I've never heard of the other three at all. So,
Yeah.
meh. Next up is Best Ongoing Game. The nominees are Warframe, Rainbow Six Siege, Overwatch, Grand Theft Auto Online, Destiny 2, and PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. And you went first in the last one, so it's my turn. I'm gonna give it to GTA.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but it's gonna be a toss up. I don't know. I don't think I can. Because I think it's either gonna be PUBG or Overwatch, or GTA. I don't know what the fuck to pick. Because
It's a tough one.
the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, I can already see what's gonna happen. Everyone who loves that game is gonna flood vote this fucking thing. So I guess I'm
Potentially.
gonna go with PUBG. It's not even potentially, because the problem is you have people like PewDiePie playing it. You got Jacksepticeye playing it. You got fucking Dr. Disrespect playing it. All those fucking fans are, of course, gonna suck that game's dick as hard as they fucking can because their favorite
But
YouTubers
see, the
are
thing
playing
is all of them have played Overwatch too.
it. Yeah, but
And a lot of their fans have played GTA, so they already know that that's good.
yeah, I still think it'll be PUBG. I think its
I think it's-
popularity is retarded for being
I
out,
think it's
not even a year.
I think it's not even out.
Well, it's early access.
Yeah, it hasn't been released officially. Which I think it's stupid that this game is nominated. Just gonna get this out of the way now. This game should not be nominated for any awards in this Game Awards. The Game Awards is for games released this year. A game in early access has not reached its release date. It has not seen a full release. How is that game nominated for awards?
Well, in a marketplace or an industry now where people are literally selling you half games and finishing the rest with updates later, it's not fucking surprising that it's on there. I'm just glad it's not fucking Ark, because at least you can fucking play PUBG. You couldn't play Ark for the longest time because the fucking frame rate was so abysmal. There were so many fucking bugs with it, and then they released a DLC on top of it. But before even fucking getting it out of early access, it's the most retarded thing in the world.
I still don't think a game in early access should be nominated for games released that year until it gets an official release. Once it's officially released, then it can be nominated for awards. I think it's really stupid that it's out there for awards before it's even seen a release date.
I think it is going to see a release date. Because they're releasing it on Xbox, actually. I think they might have already.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though, is just because they're releasing it on a console, it's still early access game patching it with updates. It's not a full release yet. Until it comes out of early access.
I think it's only...
I just think it's stupid.
I don't think you can have early access games on Xbox or PS4. It's only on Steam that lets you get away with that bullshit.
I think it's very stupid that it's nominated for Game Awards when it's not fully released.
I agree, I guess.
The next is Games for Impact.
I've never played any of these.
Which, for a thought-provoking game with a profound pro-social meaning or message. The nominees are Please Knock on My Door. Please come knock on my door.
Kill yourself until you die.
Night in the Woods. Life is Strange Before the Storm. Bury Me, My Love. What Remains of Edith Finch. And Hellblade's Senua's Sacrifice.
Fuck it, whatever Senua. I don't fucking know.
I'm gonna give it to Night in the Woods.
I don't fucking play these kinds of games 'cause I think they're fucking retarded.
I've never played any of these ones. I don't know why you'd think they're that.
It's not necessarily that. I'm just fucking... I've never played them, so I can't really form an opinion on them, so by default they have to be retarded. Because I said so.
My experience with games that would normally fall into this category would be like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just more like an interactive movie.
See, and
You can't change the ending, but you can change lines.
See, and that's kind of like something I wouldn't really be into. I like to feel that I actually impact the end.
Well, you do in the Walking Dead games very slightly, but they're not humongous impact.
Right.
Like, your choices aren't going to go into the next game and be like, oh man, the world is completely different for me than it is for you.
Right.
You know? Night in the Woods, though, I heard a lot of people talk about that when it came out. Life is Strange, I heard quite a bit about. This is the sequel to the original.
Yeah.
I don't think I heard as much about this as I think I have. I think I'm mixing it up with some of the stuff I've heard about the other one.
Yeah.
But I gotta give it to Night in the Woods just because I heard a lot about it. I've never heard of these other ones all that much.
I wouldn't know. Like I said,
And next up is Best Performance. We have... That's such a great picture of this person.
Oh, yeah.
Melina Juergens from Hellblade as Senua. Laura Bailey from Uncharted The Lost Legacy as Nadine Ross. Claudia Black from Uncharted: The Lost Legacy as Chloe Fraser. Brian Bloom from Wolfenstein 2 as BJ Blazkowicz. Ashley Birch from Horizon Zero Dawn as Aloy. I gotta give it to Brian Bloom.
Yeah.
Just because BJ Blazkowicz has a voice.
Not only that, he's very well acted, and like I said, they pretty much just fucking completely made him everything better in Wolfenstein 2 for the most part. The only thing they really fucked up, in my opinion, were the collectibles, because there are just so fucking many of them, it's not fun to look for them. Other than that, though, everything else is amazing, pretty much.
Next up is Best Audio Design. The nominees are Destiny 2, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and Super Mario Odyssey.
I wouldn't know. Because Resident Evil 7, I fucking hate the title of the song for that. Go tell.
Well, this is more than music. This is audio all around, like atmospheric audio, sound effects, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could go to Resident Evil 7, but I'm gonna give it to Breath of the
so.
Wild.
Whatever you say, because I am blatantly copying you.
Because I will say this. Actually, I'll say it when we get to that category. Hold on. Because it's next. Best Score / Music. The nominees are Destiny 2, Cuphead, Nier Automata, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and Persona 5.
I'm going to go with Persona 5.
The fact that Zelda is nominated for this award is stupid.
Mm-hmm.
The game has good music, but you hardly ever hear the music.
Huh.
The game is such an atmospheric game. Like, there's not a lot of music playing at all times.
Yeah.
Because there's a character in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not spoilers because he was shown off in like the first trailer, but he's a guy who wanders the world playing an accordion.
Yeah.
And you can hear, when you get to him, you start hearing his music and you're like, oh, that guy must be around, so I'm going to look for him. But the audio in the game, you're mostly hearing like wild nature sound effects.
Yeah.
You're not hearing music. It's not often you hear music unless you're in combat. You're near the guy with the accordion, or you're at Ganon's castle, I believe. Has music there as well. And when the sun first comes up, I think it plays a little bit of music and then it kind of fades into nature sounds. I don't think it should be nominated for Best Music. Not in a million years. I like the music, but there's no way it's better than Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pick Persona 5.
I'm giving it to Mario.
The reason I picked is
Jump Up Superstar is an amazing song.
the reason I picked Persona 5 is because like the Persona soundtracks are always the most original game soundtracks I hear. Like, I'm always blown away by their originality with their mixes of like I would say poppy vocals, but like almost like jazzy trumpets and stuff like that. It's
me and you went completely different ways.
It's
you went for like original sounding tracks. I went for the one that feels like it fits that game series more than any.
Oh yeah, that Persona 5 of course fits the game series.
But the like other games in the Persona series all have that same music. Oh, okay.
They are the most original scores I've ever heard in video games. And they're just so unique. Like, if someone were to play me right now just a random Persona song, I would know. You wouldn't even have to tell me. Because they're so their own thing.
I do have to say, I think Cuphead could win
I
this.
do not.
Just because people like that kind of stupid 50s goofy style that it has.
Yeah, but listening to the soundtrack, it's not really anything special.
I'm just tossing it out there. I think it could win, but I really think it's going to be Mario Odyssey for this one.
Yeah.
Because you hear Jump Up Superstar in the commercials and you're tapping your feet.
Yeah.
And honestly, the section of the game where you actually hear that song is one of the best designed gaming sections I've ever played. Just tossing that out there. I love it to pieces. The next category is Best Art Direction. The nominees are Destiny 2, Cuphead, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Persona 5, and Horizon Zero Dawn. So you went first in the last one, right?
I believe so. No one's fucking paying attention anymore. Just fuck it. Just
No, we're
fucking
not.
say your thing.
I'm saying Zelda.
I'm saying Cuphead. The reason I'm saying Cuphead is because, like, its art design is just so unique from the rest of them. Zelda's just fucking cel-shaded. Destiny 2's like every other fucking game. Persona 5 is cel-shaded. I've never seen Horizon, so I can't make that judgment. But Cuphead is like, it's like playing a cartoon. And I think
Yeah.
that's why it gets it. It's pure originality.
I honestly think I'm losing this one, this category.
It's
I honestly do. I think Cuphead is going to win. I'm going with Zelda, though,
yeah.
because I think it'd be the more popular choice for a casual person.
Yeah, I'm not doing the most popular choice. I'm picking what I would pick for the most part.
I'm kind of going with with what I pick,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm trying to think of what other people are going to say.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
remember, we're trying to win.
I'm aware. That's why I keep picking PUBG every time it comes up, because I know it's gonna fucking get pooped. Like, it's gonna poop on everything.
The next category is Best Narrative.
And you actually have to
The
play these
nominees-
games in order to know that. Oh,
The narr- the
Wolfenstein
no-
2.
I gotta read the nominees first. What Remains of Edith Finch, Nier Automata, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, Wolfenstein 2, and Horizon Zero
I
Dawn.
have to say, the
I've-
fact that Nier is fucking on this list, I could have sworn that game came out last fucking year. And it's still on this fucking list is the most retarded thing to me in the world.
It probably came out after the Game Awards last year.
Yeah.
Because if it came out after, I think December 7th is when they do their awards every year. If it came out after December 7th, it's not eligible for awards that year because the Game Awards already happened. So they consider it as part of the next year's awards. Yeah, so that's why I'm tossing it out. It could have been released in 2016, but it came out after they already did their awards.
Alright.
I don't know these games at all. I'm just going to say because it's on this list this often, I'm giving it to Hellblade. Because it must be good if this many people think it's worth nominating.
The thing with Wolfenstein 2, though, is, like, I think it's the best because it like, actually showcases progress in their...
Yeah, I'm probably wrong, but...
No, hear me out. It's like they build on BJ Blazkowicz in a way that you wouldn't think they would in just a mindless first-person shooter. Like, you get to see his house,
sure.
you get to meet his parents, you get to see how big of a fucking asshole his dad
spoilers.
is.
Spoilers.
No, it's not really. This is shit you see first thing. These are the first things you see in the game. So if you're saying this is spoilers, you're retarded. But it's the best narrative I think in a game I've played this year.
I'm just saying I don't want to agree with you, so I'm picking something else.
Okay. Be wrong
I-
then, even though it's probably gonna be fucking. I think in Nier Automata.
And by the way, if we both tie,
Yeah.
we have to we're going to come up with some kind of dual punishment. We don't know what yet.
Yeah. I think.
But if we somehow tie, that's going to happen. We didn't mention that.
Yeah.
Next up is Best Game
God
Direction.
fucking damn, kid.
What?
It's the same games over and over again.
Awarded to a game studio for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. The nominees are Wolfenstein 2, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, and Horizon Zero Dawn.
I'll give it to Super Mario. The problem with fucking Wolfenstein, as much as I think it is, it's not. It's an FPS. It improves on everything, sure, and Wolfenstein started the genre, but Super Mario Odyssey really, as far as I'm aware from seeing people play it every once in a while, really took Mario in a super different direction in a lot of ways.
That's the thing. I don't think it did. I think it took it back to Mario 64 direction and added to it.
Yeah.
I think Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Because that took the Zelda formula, turned it on its head, threw it out the door, brought a couple things back inside.
See, I don't know, because, like, Breath of the Wild just takes a lot of, like, it just takes a lot of things that were already in RPGs long before and just fucking mixes them with Zelda.
Well, my thing is all of these games have something in them that's been in games before that, hey, we're just making different for our game, you know?
Yeah.
There's no original games anymore. I think Mario Odyssey is probably the most original on this list. But I think Zelda took its existing formula, because I think all of these except for Horizon, is Horizon Zero Dawn a sequel?
No, I don't think so.
No? Because honestly, I'm looking more at like how the games turned their games into better directions. Like took their franchise into a better direction. Like Wolfenstein 2, like it's still an FPS.
Right.
It's really good, I'm sure.
Yeah, but you have
But
to
it's still
also,
an FPS.
you have to also remember, it's not necessarily an originality thing. It's like, what did they do?
Yeah, I know.
And they really did innovate it. The problem I have with picking Wolfenstein is that it was the progenitor of the genre. So once
Yeah.
you start progeniting and innovating already, how far can you take it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Resident Evil 7 is...
I think it's the worst. I shouldn't say it's the worst in the franchise, but it's my least favorite of my favorite Resident Evil games.
I gotta give this one to Breath of the Wild. As much as I love Mario Odyssey, I think Breath of the Wild did the most different for what it is.
I don't know. I mean, you can do that, I guess.
In the last category, this is the big one. Game of the Year.
PUBG.
And then the nominees are The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey, PlayerUnknown's Battleground, Persona 5, and Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm giving it to Mario.
See, I just have so little faith in people that I just have to pick PUBG every time. Because people are fucking stupid, in my opinion. They're, of course, going to pick PUBG, even though it has the depth of a fucking mud bottle.
But here's my thing.
Yeah.
Mario Odyssey is the most freshest in people's minds of these 5 games. Like, it came out the most recent,
Yeah.
except for PlayerUnknown, which hasn't even come out yet. I still hate that it shouldn't be up for Game of the Year, because if it gets a full release next year,
Yeah.
they're gonna nominate it for Game of the Year again next year, because that was its official release. It's stupid.
I don't know about that. Yeah,
But then Mario Odyssey is like, I think, the freshest in people's minds, and it scored perfect to near perfect scores all over the place. I hardly saw any negative reviews on it. The only complaint I saw people make was the story was too easy. Which, yeah, the story can be completed in a few hours. But there's a lot more to do after the story. Like, a lot more to do.
okay. Well, whatever. Pick your Super Mario Odyssey then. I think you're
did.
gonna be wrong, because people fucking. Did we do this entire fucking list backwards?
Yes.
Oh,
Because I
fucking
wanted to end
hell.
on Game of the Year.
All right. Well, hopefully they do
Why?
it backwards.
Well, they definitely will. Who does a Game of the Year show and list the Game of the Year right off the bat and leave the unimportant categories for last?
No one.
Exactly. They just have it this way for voting purposes. Like, more people want to vote for Game of the Year than want to vote for, best Chinese game.
What are you talking about? That's the most important category there is. You've never heard of
agreed on that one.
JX3HD, you fucking pleb? Gumballs?
I'm sorry. You're right. It was such a great classic game. It broke the mold as far as
Everything.
what gaming is today.
Everything. It revolutionized the culinary arts industry.
I gotta say,
Yeah.
for being a Chinese game, it is kind of pretty looking.
What are you saying? The Chinese can't make a pretty looking game?
Look at this. Look at Gumballs.
That is art, you fuckbag. That is like Mona Lisa. If Mona Lisa,
If Mona Lisa was a giant, fat, green dragon thing.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
Look at it. It's like a modern artist's interpretation of the Mona Lisa.
Oh, okay. Is that what modern art is?
Well, yeah.
I thought
just
modern art was trash pieces glued together and said, hey, no, it's interpretive.
that as well. But yeah.
So, how many categories did we agree on?
I don't know. I don't give a shit. It's been an hour.
Probably too many.
Yeah.
Is there any game you want to go back and change your choice on?
No, not really. I'll fucking
No?
No, I'm
Because this is your last chance. You cannot change it after we
yeah,
end this
whatever.
video.
Fuck it. This is it. This is my list. I'm super confident. No, I'm not. But I think this is it.
Looking at my list, I think
Most of
Zelda
it's a shot in the
alone.
dark. When do I buy new games? I don't have
Hey,
the
you bought
cash for
Wolfenstein
it,
2.
huh?
You bought Wolfenstein 2.
I bought Wolfenstein 2. I would say that this year I bought more new games than I normally do. But I still haven't bought as like the problem is I don't have the money to drop $60 on a fucking game all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
So I don't play as many new games as I probably should.
but thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.